Hi, my name is Subhas Pandey. I am teaching as a computer teacher in a reputed organization from last 20 years. I want to share my knowledge with you through my YouTube channel Learn Computer from Subhas. This is my ninth educational video on Python series. Today in this video we'll learn the looping constructs. So today's in this video's topics will be understanding loop, range function, types of loop, syntax of for loop and while loop, an example program. Now, what is loop actually? Loops are the repetition of statements until certain condition is satisfied. So, some of the words in our real life and in programming, we have to repeat it again and again until certain condition is fulfilled. These repetition are known as loops or iteration. For example, we perform our daily routine day to day until we stop there if some in some situations. And for example, a student a student goes to the school and daily, and in the process of going to the school he follows some set of steps, that is going to the after the preparation for the schools, go to the bus stop, catch the bus, and again after certain stops they reach the school. Then after all the uh, all the classes, he again comes back from the school to home. Again the same process continues for the next day. This process continues until there is a vacation or there is a holiday in school, or there may be other situations due to which you cannot go to school. So same way the loop works. It performs certain set of steps again and again until certain condition is satisfied. Now, before understanding the loop, we have to understand one very important function, that is the range function. Now, what is range function? Range function is used in basically in for loop. It generates a list which is special sequence type. A sequence in a Python is a succession of values beyond bound values bound together in a single name. Some sequences are like strings, lists, tuples. These all has a name, and through range function we can access this, and we learn the syntax of range function. So range function starts with the range word, then brackets, then the lower limit, then you can see the lower limit, upper limit, and if steps are required. By default step is 1. Now lower limit, if lower limit is not given, then it will accept, or it will by default accept lower limit as 0, and whatever upper limit is given there, it will run lesser than 1 of the upper limit. So some of the examples are there. Suppose we are writing range 10, so it will display the, it will give that 0 to 9 values. You can see range 5 to 10, it will give the values starting from 5 and it will end to 9. Same way, if we are writing 5, 15, 3, so 5 is the starting value, end value is 15, and the steps are 3. So it will give the value 5, then 8, then 11, then 14. So each and every time there will be increment in by 3 in the next value. So if this type of range is there's range 9, upper value, lower value, upper value is 3, and the step is -1. So it will give 9, 8, 7, 6, 4. So we learn these things in the programming part. So before going to the programming or coding, we'll learn the types of loops and their syntax. So in Python there are only two types of loop, that is the counting loops, for loop, and conditional loop. Counting loops means it has the fixed number of values, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or in this way you can count and it will stop. But conditional loop, it runs until certain condition is satisfied. So you can get the condition at the time of running the loop. The for loop, in the case of for loop, that you have to give the how many times the loop will run in the programming part only. But in conditional loop, it depends on the condition, and the number of loop, the number of execution of loops will depend on the condition. It can be on runtime also. So some of the examples with syntax of for loop. So for loop starts with the for keyword, then the variable through which we are executing the loop or counting the loops, and then in is the keyword, it is the operator, and sequence. So it may be range, it is the range, sequence is given through range. Now you can some of the examples are like for I in range print 1 to 6, so it will print 1 to 5. Then for A in this is the string is also a sequence. So if you are writing print A, then it will print I and D I A. And same way we have one for loop is used for the list also. This is the list, this L1 to this, we will learn the list in a separate video. So 1 2 3 4 5, so print it will print 1 2 3 4 5. So we learn these things through programs. Next, now first program is for I in range 1 to 6 print I. Now write this program for I in range 1 to 6. The for loop ends with a colon. Now after giving the colon, automatically there the next line will indent, and it will be inside the, it will be having some spaces, and you can see the spaces there. This is the indentation. Now print I. Now run this program. So you can see the values are 1 2 3 4 5. Now the next is to print the string for A in India. India is a string. Now print A. So it is printing I and D I A. Now next is to use the list in a for loop. So this one. Now for a in list 1 2 3 4 5 print a. So there is something error there. You can see the use of loop for use of for loop in a list. So this is the program to store the value of list L in 1 to 3. We have to use the list like that. List is a sequence, so L is equal to inside this quotes, third quote, store the values separating each value by comma, and then for I in give the list name and print I. It will print 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the thing. Now we have learned the syntax of for loop. Then we'll learn the syntax of while loop. The syntax of while loop is while, then condition, and then colon, and then set of statements. For examples, so print 1 to 10, we can write the counting variable of the loop is I is equal to, this is the initialization of the loop variable, and then checking whether I is lesser than, and we can print the statements. We'll check it. So it is printing up to 11. So why it is starting with 2 and end with 11? The reason is that we are already first on there is a increment in the loop statements and then the print. If you write this first print I then loop, so it will give another value. It will start with 1. You can see it. So you can see that this is printing 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 in the previous statements. So there is an increment before printing, so it starts the printing with 2 and ends with 11. Now these are the uh, syntax of for loop and while loop. Now after knowing all the things related to the looping statements and other in other required syntax for different types of control statements in while, in the previous videos we have learned the use of if, else if, and now the looping constructs. So we can now uh, we can now, now try to run some interesting program. So I will try to make the programming enjoying for you. Let's run, let's understand the program and try to write program, enjoy the program. Now suppose I have to print natural numbers from 1 to 100. To print natural numbers from 1 to 100. Now first we will use the for loop, then we will run it through while loop. Now for I in range, we will start with first value is 1 and the end value is 100. So we will run write 101. Actually it will go up to 100 and then print I. It's a very simple program. Run the module. It is printing 1 to 100. Now we can see the things that suppose I want to print, if I am writing this is print statements in this place. So how it works, how it behaves, you can see. So unexpected. So the indentation is the most important thing here. You have to indent it proper place. So this is the indentation place. And suppose I am writing like this. So it is printing same thing, but suppose the print statement is here. So how it will run? So it is giving only 100. So why it is? The reason behind this is that you can see it is giving only 100. The reason behind is that this statement is not inside the loop, so it will execute only one time. But when the same thing is written here in this place, then it executes it 100 times, because that is the inside the indentation of loop. So this is the part of the, this statement is the part of the for loop, and when it comes this place after the indentations, there is no indentation, so this is not a part of the loop. You have to be careful about the indentation in a loop. If it is in the indentation space, if we indent it properly, then it will be the part of the loop, otherwise that will not be a part of the loop. Now you can see it is running up to 100. Now one thing you can see that, suppose I want to print it in the with the step 2. So how it will print? It will print how many times it will print? It will print 1, then 3, then 5, then 7 in this way. You can see it. So you can see it that 53, then 55, then 57, then 50 in this way. Okay. And now, what is the meaning of this pass? Pass, sometimes we want to run the loop, but there is no statement is required to be executed, then pass statement is there. This is the null statement or blank statements. Now if I want to write this program using the while loop, so how can I write it? So in the while loop, you have to first initialize the variable of the loop, and then simply write while I is less than equal to 100. Print I, and then increase the value of I plus equal to 1. So this is the use of print 1 to 100 using the while loop. That's it. If if I want to print the all the odd numbers, to print all the odd numbers, suppose all the odd numbers, from 1 to suppose 10. So how can we do that? So print 1, then just add 2 with it. It will print all the odd numbers. One, two, 1, 3, 5, 7. Suppose I want to print all the even numbers, then just write here 0. So it will print all the even numbers. Start with 2. So you can see it. So very easy to write program in Python. Now I will and discuss or run some more programs. Suppose to print table of a number. To print table of number. Now using for loop and while loop, we will use both the loops. So first we have to accept a number. So accepting number, we know that input function is there. The value is integer type. Now input enter a number and to print the table of that number, it will go 1, 2. It will starts with 1. So first we have to initialize the values. I is equal to 1 and then print I into whatever the number we have accepted, and then increment the value of I by 1. So in a while loop we have to increment the values, or in a for loop the by default the increment takes place by 1. If you want to increment it in other way, then you can increment it. So run the module. So acceptance, suppose I want to get the factorial of 9, the table of 9. So it will print like 1. So in this way we can get, suppose I want to print the decimal values table, then you just change it like float and run the program. So suppose the decimal values is 1.4567. It will give this table like that. So now to run this using for loop, we have to write for, then for I in range one comma 11, print 1, and there is no need to write this, and there is no need to write this statement also, because here the initialization is taking place. Now initial value of I is and end value will be 10, because it will be 1 lesser than the upper value. So for lower value is 1, upper value is 11. So run the module. enter the number, any number, enter, you are getting the value. So in this way you can use it using the for loop, or you can use it using the uh, while loop. Now one program is to print the summation of natural numbers from 1 to 100, natural numbers of 1 to 100. So how we can do this? To print the summation of all the natural numbers from 1 to 100. Now program will be like that. For I in range 1 to 101, and here I have to use one variable, that is the sum, plus equal to I, add the values, the sum plus equal to I, and now at the end write print sum. You can see that I am writing the sum not in this line, in this column, but before this column. So this means this print statement is not inside the loop, only the loop contains this statement. So for the loop, indentation is important. So suppose I am after entering this place, the cursor is blinking, this is the indentation. This from this place we have to write the loop statements, otherwise it will not take that statement inside the loop. So now run this module. So there is an error. So what is the error? We will check it. Sum plus equal to I. Sum must have to declare it. Sum equal to 0. Then run the module. So it is 5050. So all. Now thanks for watching. Subscribe and like. This is the 9th video of Python series. So these all videos are for the beginners of the Python learner, and we'll go for the difficult programs in the later, in the subsequent videos. Hoping that if you want to learn the Python properly, then you have to watch all the videos one by one, from starting from the introduction to getting started. Then the next videos like the error rectifications and constructs, that is the conditional statements, use of conditional statements, looping construct 1, looping construct 2, looping construct 3, and then the looping construct 4. If you watch each and every video sequentially, then you can get the things properly. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like. This is the 9th video of Python series. Thank you.